Okay, welcome to AGI House, everyone. I see a lot of new faces, and of course some old faces that we see here. So we have a very, very special guest today. It's I guess someone that you probably don't need a lot of introduction. So we have very, very honored to have Sergey Brin, the founder of co-founder of Google, that's here today to open the event for us.
Hey, well, thanks, Rocky. It's a pleasure to be back here. I haven't been here in a little while. Mostly just honestly hard working at the office. It's just been nose to the grindstone kind of time in AI. Obviously, things are moving very fast, and yeah, we're cranking all the time. There's basically no time for little social visits and things like that.
Yeah. So last time I was here, actually. It's almost 2 years. It's the beginning of 2024. So this is a comeback story. I think while you have a lot of these stories, I think this story is very, very interesting to us because I think 2 years ago we have I think Google Gemini is a little different place, and since then the world changes, and I think Google Gemini also changes, and I think a lot of things that. From the crowd attribute to your comeback stories. I'd love to hear how's the experience.
I think it's a little bit exaggerated how much of like my presence specifically is helping with Gemini momentum. But look, I think there's a team of people there, and once we got a certain critical mass and a certain momentum. It's been just incredible. I mean, it's like who wouldn't want to be pushing the edges of intelligence? I mean, such a unique time in history, unique time in science.
Good to hear that. So at AGI House, we like to do this thing called, we want to have the mic to the crowd. So I'm not going to MC the question because I got a chance to talk to you separately, but I think a lot of people who come here, maybe it's a real opportunity for you to really have a conversation directly with you. So I'd love to hand the mic to all of you.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Go ahead.
Hi, this is Ning from Decola Origin. Very nice to talk to you here. So I guess Google has always ambitious about AI for science. So you have lots of investment and efforts in this space. What's your next big move?
What's our next big move? I mean, we've done all kinds of things historically, ranging from managing fusion reactors to obviously protein folding with AlphaFold and whatnot. I think the exciting thing is that all of these things are converging to the same general models. In the past, we would have to have specialized models, well, in the case of protein folding, we obviously still do. But increasingly, our main Gemini LLMs can be the state-of-the-art for math, for example, and for other kinds of scientific questions. So that convergence is, I don't know, I guess it's not something I really would have predicted at the outset, but it's been kind of incredible to see. And I guess baked into that is this concept of transfer, just the idea that when you train for a certain class of problems, let's say you're training for coding, that actually can help your math reasoning and vice versa. And that's been really exciting to see. The multimodal capability also is an example of that. Like, can you actually get transfer from being able to process images to actually being able to think through kind of geometric text problems too?
Yeah, very look forward for that.
It's great to meet you. And Google has been creating the infrastructure for connecting information and people in the last 20, 30 years. And Gemini is now right now building the intelligence at the edge. And I'm wondering more after the intelligence problem has been solved, because we have already have the scaling law, has the flywheel for the data. And so I think it's pretty sure that we will kind of progress, like climb the hill for the intelligence. I'm more curious, like, afterwards, after we climb the hill for intelligence, like, what's your next big bet, like for the AGI society, like agent native society, like, will there be a new infrastructure that enables like even better connections of information data, or sits beyond it? Like, what's your next big bet after the
Wow,
AGI?
that's a great question. What's sort of next after we hit AGI? I mean, I think everybody is like pretty focused on, you know, accelerating the growth in AI right now. What comes after? I guess you're right. We started with obviously the web and internet search. We kind of went through the mobile generation, which was another pretty big explosion. I guess now people are, you know, now AI is a huge new industry trend, and what comes after that? Boy, I mean, I think if you can answer that, you'll have a fantastic company on your hands.
Hey, Sergey. Over here. Yeah. Great to meet you. Following on from that question, my question would be, well, how would you define superintelligence? As a initially theoretical computer scientist yourself, what do you think of questions like P equals MP and so on?
Okay. I mean, those seem like two different questions. P versus NP could be answered by humans. I mean, there's nothing that says it can't. It's a...
No, as in P equals MP is superintelligence.
Oh, you're saying the superintelligence should not answer whether P equals NP or not, but you're saying that it will be able to solve NP-complete problems?
Yes, and the idea of NP-complete problems broadly is the definition of superintelligence. That if you have a fast algorithm for it, that's how you get superintelligence.
Oh, boy. I mean, I think that is a very unusual point of view. I think that most people would say, most computer scientists probably think that P is not in fact equal to NP, and therefore, sorry, I don't know how technical the audience here is, but generally speaking, that there is no algorithmic solution that will reliably solve traveling salesmen, for example, optimally. And that would include, you know, assuming those are, you know, distinct classes. Assuming that's impossible, it doesn't matter if you're a super smart AI, it's still impossible. People do try to use quantum computers for some of these more challenging problems, but a lot of people, I think most theorists would say that even though you can factor large numbers with quantum computers, it doesn't mean you can necessarily do NP-complete problems either. So I don't think I have some brilliant suggestion here, but I think the community would say that superintelligence simply means sort of being able to be smarter than humans, but not in being able to do NP-complete problems.
Thank you. Good answer.
You're welcome.
Okay, then. Thank you for your time today. My background is in industry, so heavy industry, think of automotive, aerospace. How do you see the frontier capabilities that we have available today disseminating into these kinds of industries which still operate very much on a legacy workflows and systems today, but have that huge potential of being revolutionized with the technologies we have?
Great question. I mean, I increasingly see, you know, large companies, you know, pushing to the forefront of AI, not necessarily with like their, I don't know, main core workforce, but on the side, they'll be like, you know, can we design a car or a plane using an LLM or something like that? I mean, they're all running these kinds of experiments. And I don't know that those have like completely come to fruition as of yet, but I'm sure they'll keep trying. In addition, obviously, lots of companies just take some of their day-to-day, you know, more boring administrative kind of workflows and automate those. That's very common. But for their key products and things, you know, for things that require mechanical engineering and so forth, I think that's in the realm of experimentation today. But I think they are experimenting 100%.
Hello. Yeah, thank you.
Hi.
I feel the intelligence and I guess the throughput and bandwidth of the models are like accelerating very fast. I wonder how, I guess me myself feel I couldn't catch up. And I feel how do we increase the bandwidth like with human and the model so that we can learn better and process the information better. So kind of like on that front, because one is like accelerating and the other, I'm still trying to figure out what maybe I can do with it.
You know, that is a phenomenal question. I mean, I am always kind of confused as to how to prompt the models. Like, at what level should I be prompting them? Like, you know, you can, on the one hand, have a very specific, like, debug this chunk of code here. Or you can say, you know, can you write me a better neural net training algorithm? You know, sort of, you can say the higher level thing. You can also say, like, you know, what should I do today? Or why don't you just do something useful? And as the models get more and more sophisticated, they ought to be able to handle more general, broader tasks. But it is, it's hard to keep up with, like, what are they actually capable of doing? Like, it's not like even, you know, for ourselves with Gemini, we don't know exactly where the edges are. And somebody might always do something that's, seems, well, they're just asking the model to do the thing, and that seems so straightforward, but it actually works. I mean, chain of thought actually comes to mind as an example of that. That was an actual, you know, have you guys heard of this as a technical technique? Years ago, but you know, you just say, think step by step, and then you say your problem. And that just seems like the dumbest thing ever. Like, why would that ever work? But it did. It actually spurred a whole significant increase in AI capability. So I guess I'm just saying that even just the plain textual interface, what you're expecting the model to do, how to ask it to do that, is evolving quickly. And it is hard to keep track of. I don't have like a magical solution to that. There are plenty of people who do study and optimize prompts, by the way. But I think you're also asking, like, well, as a person, how do you sort of interface to it faster? I mean, obviously, there's speech and video. You can have higher bandwidth kinds of connections. You know, obviously, some companies out there, the Neuralinks of the world, are trying to do direct-to-brain connections of sorts. I probably wouldn't do anything to change my biology today for the models as I see them today. I'd probably wait for things to mature a lot. But it's a very fast-moving target. I do think today's models are getting sort of smarter and smarter about being able to do general things that are helpful for you. So you don't necessarily need to sort of speak to them at a much higher bandwidth. And they can output higher bandwidth because, you know, they'll spit out video and pictures and things like that. Okay, next question.
Hi, Sergey, I'm Jose. Good to meet you. Thank you for coming. My company, in partnership with Linux Foundation, we're building an open source entity graph. It's at opendata.org. And part of our vision is to build like the world's largest graph of entity information and the relationships between them. And by entity, I mean it could be a company, a legal entity, a place of business, a human, an agent, financial security, an address, what have you. And if you think about it, you know, as humans, when we consume information, generally speaking, what we're interested in is consuming information about an entity, right? Like, I want to learn more about you, or more about this place, this company, and so on. But the world's information is organized in a more abstract way, you know, by URLs, documents, and things like that. So my vision here is kind of the way you help organize the world's information by linking URLs and ranking them and thinking about it and so on in that way. I'm thinking of linking the world's information at the entity level. So, hey, this document has all these entities in it. This URL has all these entities in it. And building this monster graph where all information is tied to entities in a verified, you know, fashion. Would like to get your reaction and thoughts around that.
Okay, kind of reminds me of Xanadu. Am I dating myself by saying that word?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, okay, 3 people recognize that. I mean, I guess my immediate reaction is that you're kind of swimming upstream, but there's nothing wrong with swimming upstream. You know, if we were having this conversation 20 years ago, everybody was building knowledge graphs. And, the people who were fretting with neural nets were the weirdos. They're like, don't you know that doesn't work? Like, we tried that in the 50s and failed. So, obviously the neural nets have come a long way. And now everybody is doing neural nets, and nobody is doing knowledge graphs except for you. So, I mean, you're playing the long odds, but those long odds are sometimes right. So, good luck.
Oh, can you hear me? Yeah, I have two questions. The first question is in terms like we talk about super intelligence now, and now AI can help us driving car, AI can help us to do office work. So my first question is, what's the next thing, or what kind of thing do you think only human can do after super intelligence? And my second thing is, 20 years ago, Google is a company like famous for connecting people, and now Google is a company focusing on AI, and Gemini is one of the most important model at this time. So my question is about strategy. What do you think Google's next role in next 20 years? Thank you.
Okay, small questions, I guess. What is humans' role in this world, and what is Google going to do for the next 20 years? I think that the definition of intelligence has always shifted with what machines can do versus what people can do, and for a long time, chess was a measure of intelligence, and then Deep Blue beat Kasparov in the 90s, maybe, and the interesting thing is people have kept on playing chess. In fact, how many people here know who the top-ranked human chess player is? Anybody can yell the name. Sorry, I'm assuming it's Magnus Carlsen. I'm sure there's people bounce up and down. But how many people here know the top-ranked AI program? Okay, not too many. What? Benoit. Oh, you think it's Stockfish? I mean, that's the most popular. Is it number one? Or Benoit claims it's number one. You don't think AlphaZero can beat Stockfish? Oh, they've adopted. Okay, damn. All right. Well, okay, Benoit's the only one who named that top chess program. Let's point out. I'm just saying that the fact that computers can do things well has actually not stopped humans getting better and better at them, getting more and more recognition, and enjoying those things. Obviously, we've sort of adjusted kind of our view. It used to be, like I said, well, chess is the intelligent thing, and then it was Go is the intelligent thing, and poetry or painting, what have you. I think we're going to find AIs can do a whole lot of pretty surprising things, but I think they also help advance people in doing it. And by the way, since AlphaGo, the game of Go has advanced a lot. Like, the players that played against it, Lee Sedol, became vastly better and Kaji after he played AlphaGo also. It has pushed the state of the art. So I think people are going to be able to enjoy and do a lot of things, even with AI assistance. Then 20-year question, I don't know, I think we should let somebody else ask another question. That's a big one.
Hello.
Hi.
Do you believe transformers are sufficient for AGI?
That's a great question. I've asked Noam that a bunch of times. Transformers have been weirdly flexible. We use them for image and video in addition to text, so that they've exceeded their original capability. Now, to be fair, along the way, they've also changed. I mean, we have sparse kind of MOE transformers. I mean, there are a lot of little details that have shifted along the way, so it's not like the exact same thing as a transformer paper. I don't know, if I had to guess, could something close to that be AGI? I would say yes. That's just my guess, just because they've been able to evolve so much. But like I said, they are changing. It's not like the exact same thing as the original transformer paper. Oh, yes, sir. Let's do just a couple more, and then we'll let you guys get on with your event.
Hi, Sergey, I got a question for you. So maybe 20 years is too long. Within 1 or 2 years, many people believe AGI will become true. So before it have a bigger impact to the greater society, it might have a huge impact to big tech organizations like Google itself. So I was really curious, how do you envision Google in 3 years from now? Thank you.
All right, bringing down the goalposts. Okay. I mean, look, we today are at Gemini are pretty internally focused, honestly. Like, we focus on the utility of the tools to develop the tools, and I think. But I think it's surprisingly similar to how many other people who are sort of at the forefront, who are not even necessarily like super technical. I'm just thinking of a friend of mine who started using OpenClaw 6 months ago, for example, and like automated his own life in a variety of really impressive ways to me. So I think inside the organization, same kind of thing. What kind of things can you have the AI do? Whether it's monitoring training runs, for example, or generating its own training data, or all those things. You start to use the tool to build the tool, and that's where we've shifted a lot of our energy. And that's most of what we spend our time on these days.
Great. 2 more questions, and then I will end up with 1 question, then we're good.
Perfect. Let's see, there's a mic wandering there somewhere.
Just getting started. Yeah, when you get a mic,
Hello, sir. Nice to see you. So I'm so glad to see you are back to Google for 2 years. And I know you are driving many important projects inside of Google. So my question is about, how do you split your job with like Korey, with Demis, and those like talents? So what's your focus and what's their focus? What's the difference? Thank you.
Great question. I mean, I'll be honest, I'm a little bit of a rabble-rouser. Demis and Korey on Gemini, because I'm spending so much energy on Gemini, I spend a lot of time with Korey, but it's like his job and responsibility is to actually deliver the goods. And I would say I poke and prod him at the team about, hey, are you really doing that? Are you really doing that? Sometimes a little bit disruptive, not gonna lie. No, Korey actually organizes, the groups and has them deliver stuff. And I guess I view my role as more of reminding them like what priorities they might be missing, what ideas they're not paying enough attention to, and so forth.
All right, 1 last question.
Hi, Sergey. I'm Boris, ex-Googler, actually. What's your perspective on how word models can help reach AGI?
Wait, your name Boris, and you have kind of a French accent.
Yes, I'm French.
Oh, okay. Is it a common French name?
Not really.
Okay, all right.
Weird choice from my parents. My sister name is Natasha.
Okay, enchanté, Boris. Wait, what was your question again?
My question is, what's your perspective on how word models can help reach AGI?
Oh, how word models can? Oh, world models.
World
models. Yeah, I mean, world models are like, video basically models, and I guess there's like a couple. People talk about AGI kind of pretty broadly. I think of AGI as kind of the idea of the AI can actually improve itself. But other people, and I think probably those people are more correct, sort of think AGI means, well, the AI needs to be able to do anything a person can do. And those are two different things. So to do anything a person can do, you absolutely need to be able to understand and interact in the physical world. So for that, being able to, dream, imagine what's going to happen in the world if you do something and comprehend it is obviously important. So I think the world models, yes, if you're going to do everything, and that extends to robotics and things like that, world models are key. And yeah, you guys have probably had more time to play with our Gemini model, honestly, than I have. It's because I'm deep into self-improvement game. But yeah, we've been working on that for a long time. Omni's the latest version of that. Omni is also pretty cool because it's just the same, Gemini. Like we trained it also with all the text and all the other things. Trains exactly the same way. The fact that these converge is kind of amazing. But yes, you need that capability for this ability to interact physically.
Cool. I have a personal question.
Uh-oh.
Well, I remember 3 years ago, we were walking around, I think on that channel. I asked you a question, like, given what's happening at that time, like open, not the price, I still, that one word, your reply stuck with me. I said, Google's been a big company, it's been doing this for a long time. And from that moment, I feel like you have the confidence you can come back and rise to the top. And I think we witnessed the whole process. I think today is also a very interesting moment, given what's happening with the coding agent, given what's happening in the coding agents and a lot of things like in that space, the self-improving group looks like some maybe other frontier lab have a little hat. And what do you see? Do you have the same confidence, same thinking that we'll figure regardless?
Okay, great question. How do I feel confident or not? I mean, I think, yeah, I feel very good overall. I think if I simply took the temperature, every month and then said, oh no, now whatever, such and such model has shipped, that's it, then yeah, then I would probably lose my confidence very quickly. But we've seen things shift around. I actually feel very good about where Gemini is. I know that everybody now is focused on coding, and I think we were a little bit late on really focusing deeply on that. I think, the Gemini sort of 3.0 and 3.1 launches, 6-ish months ago, they were on top of kind of across the board. But I know the other labs definitely have made strides then, particularly in coding. But you watch it day to day, like everybody was super excited about Opus for the last few months, but I would give GPT 5.5 the edge now on kind of deep coding. But I'll just pitch you guys on Gemini 3.5 Flash is way faster. I mean, at some point that does also matter. But I want to give kudos to our competition in terms of, if you want to leave an overnight task, it seems like 5.5 is able to do incredibly well. But for interactive, quick, rapid iteration, we just deployed 3.5 Flash, and you'll see some more great models. But yeah, in hindsight, I think we probably should have focused on code a little bit earlier. But we are now very much focused on code, just to be clear.
Great. Looking forward to what's next. Yeah. All right.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.